everybody, it's Judy Clock here, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia. And I'm coming to you today for a recorded video. I have a training seminar tonight at 6 Eastern that I want to attend. So I am coming to you a little early. I'm recording this early in the day on Thursday so that I can make sure it airs at 7. And I hope you're having a great day. We're going to finish up the month of January with some more sort of getting back to basics. And we are going to be taking a look today at elevating some everyday objects that you probably have somewhere in your craft room or in your house, and how you can use these objects to create really interesting backgrounds for your cards and projects. All right, so if you're ready to get started, we will go ahead and switch our camera view. Look at that hair, it's windy out. So we're going to make 3 cards today. We're using the With You in Mind stamp set. This is a great all-purpose stamp set, and this is one that you will get in your goodie bag. One of the prizes or presents you'll get in your goodie bag when you come to Creativity in Bloom here in our in-person retreat in Winchester, Virginia in March. So these are the 3 cards that we're going to use. We're going to use different objects to create all of these backgrounds, and I'll show you as we go through and do each one. But the cards themselves are pretty easy. We're not going to do anything too difficult. So this is certainly something that a beginner crafter could definitely do, because chances are you've probably got these objects sitting around your house. So for our first card, we are going to we're going to have a base of Berry Burst. I've got 2 pieces of basic white here that are 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to put one on the inside. The other one we're going to go ahead and stamp with our object of the day. And then I just punched out a couple of circles. This is 1 3/4 and then 2 1.5 inch circles that we're going to stamp on. And these are just going to be used to just kind of decorate our card a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to take, I know we all have a sponge in the house, right? We've all got a sponge in the house. We'll put this up just a little bit more. How's that? A little bit better? And if you don't have a sponge in your house, then you can go to the Dollar Tree and buy a pack for $1.25. And we're just going to take our sponge, and it's a little bit damp. You don't want it to be too dry, so just wet it and get it a little bit damp. And you can see I've already got some Berry Burst on there from making my sample. And I'm just going to dip it in my ink. Get these out of the way. I don't want to get it on and I'm just going to stamp my card, and I'm just going to go over it any which way I want. Okay, as many times or as few times as you want, you can go over it. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just keep going. And there we have our background. All right. So then we're going to let's go ahead and let's finish this one out. Oh, I think I forgot to cut a little piece of white for that. So I should have had these on already, but we're going to do a birthday, and we're going to do a cupcake. Let's put this on. I thought I had my big one here. There it is. Okay. I'm going to stamp a happy birthday. We're going to stamp a little cupcake. All right. And I have a little block somewhere here. We're going to stamp a little cupcake on this little white circle. I am going to use, can you see that? The Berry Burst ink. And then I'm going to take the edge. This is one of my little tricks that I like to do, because a lot of times I forget to bring my daubers over, but I want to have that little tiny bit of color on the edge of my white circle so it's not quite so stark. So I just kind of take it and just kind of roll it right in my ink pad, and that adds just a little tiny touch of color to the edge. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do, and I did forget to cut a piece of cardstock, so bear with me for 2 minutes while I find my basic white cardstock that I had sort of already cut into pre-cut bases. Let me just trim this down real quick. I'm just going to step over here. I got my paper trimmer on the other table, and we are just going to trim this to 1 5/8 by 3 3/8. If I can find my markings. My goodness, I'm having a tough time today. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp. I think I'll stamp the happy birthday in our our boho blue, not balmy blue, boho blue. Okay, and we're just going to stamp happy birthday. It looks pretty straight. All right, let's go ahead and assemble our first card. Okay, it's very easy, but how cute is that? So again, you don't have to have a lot of expensive supplies to be able to make interesting cards. You don't even need to buy any patterned paper. So if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of supplies, look around your craft room and get ingenious. Other things you can use are, if you have bubble wrap, you can use some bubble wrap. You can use saran wrap. I haven't had much luck with aluminum foil. I've tried that. I really can't get that to work. Or if you don't have designer series paper in colors that match your project, well, guess what? You can now make your own background paper. And you could we could certainly add another color to this if we so chose to. We could go ahead and we could have stamped some boho blue on there. There is no reason why we couldn't have done that. I opted to keep everything very simple today and just do the singular color, but that's not to say that you can't do it in 2 or more colors. And now we're going to go ahead and add to our little sentiment here. I'm going to add some dimensionals. Okay, and let's add some dimensionals to our circles. Okay, and we're not going to add any to the white, and I'll show you why in a minute, because that's going to kind of sit on top of our blue and white, or white sentiment and our blue circle. And because these are both on dimensionals, we're just going to be able to put that on some adhesive, put that on with just some regular Stampin' Seal. All right, I'm going to put our happy birthday down there. Right now, before I take off my dimensionals, I'm just going to kind of place them. You see how this is going to sit right there? So we don't need to put that on dimensionals also. So I'm just going to kind of take this one off and just kind of figure out, I kind of want this one maybe kind of right up around there. And again, there's no exact science to this. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and seeing where I think I like it. We'll put that there. And we'll come on here. See, I'm going to put just some regular Stampin' Seal. Well, this is actually Stampin' Seal Plus. I prefer that over just regular Stampin' Seal. We're going to put that right there. All right, let's add a little linen bow. Take our linen thread. I always kind of pull it through my fingers because it comes off the spool pretty crinkly. So I just kind of take it and run it between the pad of my finger and my thumbnail just to kind of straighten it out. It just makes it easier when you're trying to tie it to not have all those crinkles in it. Again, you don't have to do that. It's just one of my little things that I like to do. So I figured I would share my little tip with you. All right, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to trim this down a little bit, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put this glue dot kind of right up here at the nexus where all 3 of those circles meet. I'm going to just kind of roll it into a smaller dot. I'm just going to kind of put it there, and then we're going to add our little linen bow, and we got to have a little bit of bling. So I'm kind of finishing up my package of rhinestones here. All I have left right now are what I call the baby ones. And I am just going to put these randomly on my card. And that is our first card, just using a sponge to create that pretty background effect. All right, let's go on to our second one where we're going to elevate the everyday. And this time we're going to be working with our boho blue. So again, I've got this stuff out of the way. Our boho blue card base, 2 pieces of basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. this is a piece of the new designer series paper. And this is from the mini catalog, and this is Timeless Plaid. And when you come to Creativity in Bloom, you might be seeing this as part of your goodies. And then I got the flowers from the Fully Flowering ephemera pack that are in the annual catalog. So I just pudged out some of those flowers. Okay, tell me, who doesn't have some plastic bags sitting around the house, right? We've all got them. So I'm just going to kind of crumple this up. Just move all my other paper out of the way. And I am just going to get my bag and just kind of stamp. And again, you can use as many times as you think you want. All right, till you get it where you want it. And again, you could use 2 colors. I could have alternated colors. Best thing is when you're done with it, clean up, all finished. You don't have to reuse that again. And let's go ahead. We're going to stamp Thinking of You on this one. Do I have that one? I didn't put that one out. All right. Let me just go. I didn't rinse my happy birthday one yet, but I'll rinse it off after. Okay, I'm going to do Thinking of You. And we're kind of keeping this one in that monochromatic. We're just using all of boho blue. And then we'll have that little pop of color with those flowers. So this is definitely a very monochromatic card. Actually, all of these are sort of monochromatic because we're really just kind of using and if you only have one color, you could do all of these cards in whatever color you have. So that's why I really like these, because they're very beginner friendly. They're not difficult to make. There's absolutely no special skill to these techniques. If you can just dop and dab, you're good. That's all you need. Just go ahead and scrunch up that plastic bag and let it go. So, and they're just fun. I mean, they're different. You know, there's nothing special about these, but they're just different. I think a lot of times people don't think to look beyond the regular uses for things, but I like to be a little bit more offbeat, I guess, if you want to call it that. I just like to find things that I think are interesting and just see what happens. Okay, so we're just going to put this on. I was having a real struggle today trying to get these on straight. And this one looks like it's also going to be not going on too straight. Maybe that's better. All right, that's a little bit better. All right, then I cut a piece. This is 2 inches by about 4 3/4. I wanted this to be just kind of a little bit off center. I don't know why. I guess because I'm off center sometimes. Who knows? But I just kind of like to have things just be a little bit off. And then I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Okay, I'm at the edge, so I'll just kind of break some off. And you remember, use every bit of your dimensionals. Don't worry just because you're at the edge that you can't use those edge pieces. You absolutely can use edge pieces, and you should, because stuff is too expensive to not use it. All right. Except sometimes your fingers get stuck. That's okay. All right, now we've got that. We're going to stick this kind of right here. All right, we're going to add some dimensionals to our little flower piece here. And this I am going to have to cut. Let me use my scissor because, okay. I got some smaller areas. I'm just going to kind of put these up around here. Oh dear. I didn't want that whole big piece. Okay. Can use that bigger piece for our last card. I think I'm most excited about what I'm going to use for our last card. So this one, I just kind of tucked this a little bit behind there, just because I just liked the way that looked. Okay, we're going to add that. Now, of course, we have to add some bling, because what is a card without bling, right? Who's with me? Who likes bling? Gotta have some bling. And I always put on about 3, and that's just, I don't know, just kind of like things in odd numbers. Like we got 3 flowers here, and we've got 3 green things. Now we're going to have 3 rhinestones. And again, I'm going to just kind of finish this up with a little piece of our linen thread. Again, I just, you don't have to use this. It's kind of a nice little subtle touch. Just kind of adds a little bit of something extra, and I just like it. So I'm going to use it. Plus I have oodles of it. So got to start using it, right? Can't take it with you. So I'm just going to start using everything. And this way, when something new and fun comes out, I can get something new and fun if I've used up all of my old supplies. And there's always something new and fun coming up. I'm going to kind of put that right there at the joint of all the flowers there where they all kind of come together. And we're just going to add this with a little glue dot. And there we have our second card using our background made with a crumbled up plastic bag. All right, for our last card, we're going to go with Calypso Coral. And let me say, Calypso Coral is a hard color for me to use. I don't know why. Ink on my nail. Again, our standard card base, but this one I cut to 11 by 4 1/4 and scored it at 5 1/2. So it's the long way. 2 pieces of basic white. I punched this with the modern oval punch. A piece of that, what did I say? This was Timeless Plaid from the new catalog. And we're just going to go ahead and get ready now. This, I think, is probably my favorite because I think it's very unexpected. But from a project I did like eons ago, I couldn't even tell you how long, but I have all of these feathers in my craft stash. And I'm like, what am I going to do with these feathers? I said, I'm going to use them to make a background on a card. So I'm not going to lie, I did stick a little adhesive on my block so I could get the feather to stick. But I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of stamp this all over my card. And you'll see when I'm done, it's going to just make a really fun background. And I'm going to go all around. Oh, the mailman must be here because the dogs are now going absolutely bonkers. So I don't know. I really liked the way. I wasn't sure how this was going to come out. I wasn't sure I was going to like it. But I'm like, I'm going to give it a try just because it's different. And it is different. And I really like it. I just think it's crazy enough that it would get people going like, oh, how'd you do that? And that could be like your big secret, or you can opt to tell them. And again, when you feel you've got enough color on there, then you're done. And I think I'm done. So there's absolutely no right or wrong way to do these background techniques, which is what I absolutely love about them. So I am going to stamp a thank you on here. And I did stamp this in our boho blue because that plaid has, oh my goodness. You see what I just did? I just stuck my big fat thumb in the ink pad. Anybody else do that? I do that all the time when I go to open it. It started to slip and I just grabbed it and voila. Ink on the thumb. Okay, I'm going to stamp this in thank you. Now that we have cleaned up, and hopefully we won't be getting ink on everything. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to do my same trick. I want that little touch of blue around my edges. Okay, there we go. Love that little trick. Makes it so much easier. And see, and so again, you don't even need to get daubers. You can do it without that. You know what? See, another trick, another way to use your stuff without having to get more stuff. All right, I'm going to put a blank one on the inside. Just because, all right, we're going to put our feathered background. I really like this one. Let me know which one you like the best. Did you like the one with the sponge the best, the plastic bag, or the feather? Let me know which background you liked best. I'm kind of digging this one just because it is so very different. And also the block gives it a little bit of that color from the block too. So it's just a very odd pattern. And I should have done this with glue. I know. I don't know why I turned it around. Like that's going to make it, go on straighter if I turn it around. So, all right, that's a little bit straighter. All right, I've got our piece of timeless plaid here. And again, you could use either side you want. I opted for the side with the two colors. And you could put it, you could put it dead center. You could put it a little bit off center. I'm going to put a little bit off center, not quite dead center. Okay, and now I'm going to add some Stamp and Seal to the back of my sentiment label. I am going to take my thread and wind it around my fingers like 5 or 6 times, however many times you want. Okay, I'm going to cut it, hopefully not cut my finger. I've done that before too, cutting my finger when I tried to cut the thread. Okay, and then we're going to add that to the back of our sentiment, and we're going to throw on some more of our dimensionals. Okay, and again, we've got our edge pieces here. So we're just going to go ahead and use these. And I do kind of like to sometimes put 1 or 2 just kind of over where the linen thread is, just to kind of help hold that in place. Okay, oops, that doesn't want to come off. All right, and then we're just going to stick that on our plaid piece, or plaid DSP, and we're going to finish this off with a few rhinestones. Again, you don't have to do this. I just like to add a little bling. You could use Wink of Stella somewhere. You could leave off the bling. You could leave off the linen thread. They're your creations. You could do whatever you want. All right, and that is it for this tutorial. I will have a blog post up. I know I still have to write the one from last week. It's been kind of a crazy week. My schedule is off, and I've just fallen behind on a few things, but that's life, right? Sometimes family comes first, always. So let me know which technique you liked best. This was using a feather on one of our blocks. This was using the crumpled up like grocery bag, the plastic bag. And this was just using an everyday household sponge. So let me know what you think. Let's put this way just because we'll bookend the one in the middle. Let me know what you think of these techniques and which ones you would like to try. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget, early bird registration for Creativity in Bloom ends tomorrow, January 31st at midnight Eastern. So if you are thinking about joining us, take advantage of that early bird registration. Register between today and tomorrow. There'll be a link if you go to my Stamping with Crafty Clock Facebook page. Under events, there is a link to Creativity in Bloom, and the link to purchase your registration ticket is in there. Please go ahead and register. We would love to have you. We are so excited. Like I said, you're going to get about $95 between the goodie bag and other prizes we have, plus breakfast and lunch, catered breakfast and lunch. We've got continental breakfast on Saturday, taco bar for lunch on Saturday. We've got a welcome reception. We've got prize patrols, which you've ever been to on stage. You know what prize patrols are. We've got prize patrols. We've got 3 great technique sessions planned for you. We've got 12 make and takes. So really, for your $200, you're going to get back like $175 in value for sure. Plus, we've rented a really nice place, the Holiday Inn on Front Royal Pike right here in Winchester. They have a special room rate for us. If you want to stay with us, join us overnight. It's $99 a night for the room, which is a fabulous deal. And that's it. All right, everybody, have a great night. I will see you next week.